Hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to some more Arsenal. Let's just get it straight. Let's talk about a bit more about Arsenal today. Some transfers, arguably some a bit of uncomfortable discussions, to be honest, because we need to talk about Gabriel Jesus. We need to talk about a bit of Zinchenko, a bit of players on the wages and the players we need to get rid of. There's quite a bit of stuff to talk about, I'm not gonna lie, so it will be quite, I would say, very interesting episode. I'm not gonna lie, for a change, because it genuinely will be a bit different than usual, because on transfer side with Calafiori still dragging along, still, even though it's a here we go, even though it's personal terms agreed and everything, it is still dragging a bit on, given the fact that the Basel and Bologna are trying to discuss the payment structure of the 50% sell-on clause and all that stuff. It's a bit slower thing. I think genuinely Arsenal are now focusing on signing Calafiori, getting one or two players out, flying to the USA, and then they will try to do some more business, of course. But yeah, at the moment we're gonna talk about Jesus, about Merino, a bit about Calafiori, very a tiny bit, and then we're gonna look at some players we still have at our club, we still haven't sold, and we should be selling just because to get them off the books and get proper players in. So definitely lots of stuff to talk about. Hope you're having a great day, by the way. Everyone's had a great Monday, as good as it could be potentially. And yeah, if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe, like the thing. It definitely helps the algorithm, costs nothing, generally it's for free. Don't forget to interact in the chat, and to be honest, let's not drag this too long. Let's dig straight in, and we are kicking things off with Merino. According to reports, Mikel Merino wants to think carefully about which path to take after deciding not to renew his contract with Real Sociedad. Obviously, he's in the last year of his contract. His contract runs out by the end of the season, and he hasn't still decided what to do. Chelsea apparently were in for him, but they're not getting him, let's be real. The strongest interest is from Atletico Madrid. They're pushing hard, but they're also focusing on some other players, so it will be very interesting to see how that goes. And of course, there is Arsenal. There hasn't been any concrete bids put in, but there is just some interest at the moment. And the thing is about Merino, he would definitely be decent at Arsenal. Decent mostly because, well, he was at Premier League. Obviously, it was 7-8 years ago. He was super young. He was 21, 22. And obviously, you cannot judge player by then. Now, for Sociedad, he was decent. Obviously, best partnership with Zubimendi. Zubimendi is staying in Spain, Real Sociedad. He doesn't want to move. So it will be very interesting to see how that develops. But the big part in all of this, to be honest, for today for me, is the fact that signing Merino doesn't actually boost Arsenal's starting 11 as much as it minimizes the gap between the bench and Arsenal's main 11. The drop-off obviously is very massive. It still is. It used to be bigger, but it still is big. And signing Merino definitely would kind of make the gap a bit smaller. Let's just say that. Obviously, Merino could definitely start, play that left number 8, maybe try to play that Xhaka role, try to overlap the left wing, maybe open up some spaces, because Gabi Martinelli definitely wasn't himself since Xhaka has left. Obviously, you can kind of write it to that off. Obviously, there were injuries. He couldn't pick up proper momentum. He was missing chances. He usually tucks away. So he didn't have the best of seasons. Obviously, that comes together with the fact that he didn't have Granit Xhaka on his side. But obviously that was something Mikel Arteta should have known and should have worked out. But apparently he didn't, and we saw how that went with the fact that Trossard started instead of Martinelli, and at the end of the day, yeah, Trossard towards the end part of the season definitely did much better than Martinelli did throughout the rest of the season when he played. So it is what it is at the moment. Merino is on the books potentially. It all remains to be seen whether it's gonna happen or not. According to some reports, it's a very strict rumor. Holy crap, cookies. Basically, it's been talked about that Arsenal, Mark Gehi to Arsenal transfer solution clear with 30 million move as a second bid submitted. Basically, Arsenal have submitted a second bid for Wolves goalkeeper Dan Bentley. It was 300,000 submitted. It's, however, below Wolves' asking price of 1 million. Although it is stated that the compromise between both clubs to an agreement is very close. Now that is something very weird because they want million. If 300 grand is very close, that would mean they would that we could get him for about, I would say 500k maybe. Again, but the fact is, the senior goalkeeper situation is a bit weird because Arsenal at the moment are flying to the USA with no senior goalkeepers. Ramsdale is on vacation for God knows what reason. Raya just won the Euros, played one game, so he's celebrating, so he has time off as well. Which means we're going to the USA tour with Karl-Heinz, Setford, Rojas, and there was a Nygaard. The two young goalkeepers we just signed, Karl-Heinz who we re-signed, and Rojas, one of the youngsters in the under academy. So it's very weird, very interesting to see that Arsenal actually are going to the preseason tour to play against Bournemouth, United and Liverpool with no proper senior goalkeepers. There are some rumors that Arsenal are reportedly considering offering Edu Nketiah as part of a swap deal for Mark Gehi. Now, first things first, Sunday Star via the Express, not the most reliable one, let's just get it out of the way. Why? I have no idea. Crystal Palace went 70 million. Why do we need another freaking defender? Can someone explain me this bizarre instance scenario world where Arsenal need to sign another defender? We have too many defenders at the moment. We need to get rid at least of one of them, preferably Zinchenko. Maybe you should get rid of Tomiyasu as well with his injuries and everything. But overall, why we are going for another defender? And also, this deal, swap deal with including Edu Nketiah for Gehi makes no sense. Because Nketiah is wanted by Marseille. We're going to talk about that in a second. And it makes no sense to put him in the deal. More sense would make Arsenal maybe trying to do the swap deal plus cash for Gabriel Saudi. Obviously, it would make much more sense for Arsenal and the state of their team and how they need to improve their squad to get Gabriel Saudi in this instance. But again, as I say always about Arsenal, if it makes sense, they won't do it. They are not signing backup for Saka, at least yet, definitely. It's been 4 years since Aubameyang has left. Arteta still hasn't replaced Aubameyang and his goals. We don't have a proper midfield. We need to sign at least 3-4 players still in this window. I would say backup for Saka, a number 9, and I would say 2 midfielders. So that's 4 players. And I don't see Arsenal signing 3. Maybe we can sign half of them, maybe 2, but I don't see Arsenal signing at least 3 or, for God's sakes, all 4 players. So that will be very interesting to see how that develops. But this swap deal, Nketiah for Mark Gehi plus cash, for me personally, makes 0 sense. For me, this is a Yellow Pages story, maybe to maybe spark some interest from other teams and maybe try to sell Gehi. But I really doubt that Glasner would want to sell Gehi. And second of all, Arsenal don't want this. Arsenal want to get some money in, and selling Nketiah would make more sense than actually going for Nketiah plus cash for Gehi. I don't know what's going on here, why there's such stories out, but it is what it is at the end of the day. It's a piss take, I'm not gonna lie, but hey ho, here we are. And this is one of the biggest stories of today. Al Ahly have Gabriel Jesus and Richarlison on their target list for potential striker signings. This is a big one. This is genuinely a big one. Because Arsenal don't have a proper number 9. Whether you think Havertz is a proper number 9, whether you think Gabriel Jesus is proper number 9, you can think that all you want, but they are not proper number 9s. They can't finish consistently. They're not a proper bagsman. Jesus tends to overhaul the ball, to overplay it quite a bit at times, not to mention the injuries and everything. Plus, Jesus has said himself on international television that his main threat isn't scoring goals. Moving on to Kai Havertz, 6'4" donkey who cannot get a ball. He can finish on occasion, and then even again it looks like he's gonna miss, he's gonna fall over or break a leg while shooting the ball. It's very all backwards for Arsenal at the moment in the number 9 front. I need Arsenal to sign a proper number 9. Is it Tony? Is it Gyökeres? Is it someone? Just go and sign a proper number 9. And maybe, if Arsenal actually agree to sell Gabriel Jesus, we might come to this instance. The question is, if bid comes in, how much would the bid come in from Al Ahly? Because, according to Transfermarkt, Gabriel Jesus' value, oh, you cannot see this. This is kind of embarrassing for me. Let me kind of adjust this a tiny bit. Here it is. 65 million. When Arsenal signed him, he was 45 million. So his value has risen by 20 million. I can't put my finger on why specifically, mostly because he's been injured for quite some time at Arsenal, and when he has been fit, when he has played properly, he has done some things good, but he hasn't scored more than 14 goals in Premier League in his career whatsoever. Not for City, not for Arsenal. For Arsenal, his best season has been 11 goals and 6 or 7 assists, if I'm not mistaken, on top of my head. Plus, the season when he scored the 14 goals at the time was when he was playing at right wing, predominantly for Manchester City, and if I'm not mistaken, Riyad Mahrez at the time was playing the false 9. So that was completely different strategy, completely different setup, and Jesus wasn't the main target man because, let's be real, Pep Guardiola sees things most people can't see, or pretty much almost no one can see. And he instantly knew that Gabriel Jesus won't be the main guy to score lots of goals, because the most clinical finisher arguably in that front line at the time was actually Riyad Mahrez, hence he was playing through the middle. Plus he can finish with both feet. Jesus on his left foot is quite dodgy at times, I'm not gonna lie. So he pushed him out to the wing, and he that season had 14 goals and about 8 or 9 assists, something weird like that. So he had the best output you could ever imagine. So this is the thing. Only thing that's holding him back at the moment at Arsenal is injuries. But to be honest, it's also Mikel Arteta. And this falls solely on Mikel Arteta, because Arsenal are looking to sign an attacker, a forward, and this raises the big question for me. Why Arteta doesn't think about maybe trying actually play Gabriel Jesus at right wing as a backup for Bukayo Saka? He can still play at the number 9, and you can actually maybe focus on signing a proper number 9. But no, Arteta wants Kai Havertz to be in the main number 9, Jesus be the number 9, and not actually have a proper number 9. Not to mention the fact, there will be a time this season, 100%, that everything is gonna go tits up. Shit's about to hit the fan at some point. Because Arsenal are Arsenal, and it's usually what happens at Arsenal every single season, at least once. When we go on losing streaks, where we cannot score, cannot finish. And Arteta definitely will try to play either Trossard, either Martinelli down the middle. 100% there will be a time when we're gonna see this. Not to mention the fact, on top of that, it also might come to a point when we are first, second, third, whatever it is, few points here or there behind someone or in front of someone, and then someone will say, we need to score goals, because we will be scraping games at some point 1-0, 2-1, with having 65 chances and barely tucking 2 away. And then again the penny will drop, just like it did last season, just like it did season before that in a way, that we don't have a proper number 9 who is at top, who can hold up the ball, drop a shoulder, and just whack it in the net. Arsenal don't have that. Arsenal used to have that. Arsenal used to be known for amazing strikers like Ian Wright, Campbell, rest in peace, man. Obviously, Van Persie, Thierry Henry, arguably Dennis Bergkamp, Nicolas Anelka, Emmanuel Adebayor, Robin Van Persie. To some extent, also Giroud. There was Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. We used to have good players up top, genuinely. We used to have decent players up top. Then Arteta came in. He decided to yeet Aubameyang into oblivion, get him rid for free, mind you, making no profit on him, no money back on him whatsoever. After when Aubameyang left, he went to Barcelona. Barcelona made money on him. Chelsea made money on him from Marseille, and Marseille now made money on him when he moved to Saudi. So why Arsenal couldn't do that? Oh, he was toxic, he was disrupting the dressing room and all that stuff, and it was legitimately messing up the whole thing, allegedly. And he just wanted to get him rid as soon as possible. And that is what is really pissing me off. Genuinely pissing me off. It's really annoying. And now we are sitting here. Another season we are about to go into. And it's pretty much straight up understandable that Arsenal won't sign a number 9. Arsenal won't sign a number 9. Everybody knows that because there have been no links with strikers whatsoever. There have been links on occasion with Gyökeres, on occasion with Osimhen. Obviously there was Sesko, but at the end of the day, there hasn't been a proper number 9 links, concrete ones, like for a week, consistently, like it was with Calafiori and like it was with Sesko before Euros. We haven't signed a number 9. And this will all again fall on Mikel Arteta. Genuinely, this will all again at the end of the day fall on Mikel Arteta when we will see when we cannot finish again. Another game against Fulham, Aston Villa, Newcastle, where we should finish our dinner and we cannot finish again. Because it was all good 2 seasons ago when everyone said, we are spreading the goals around, we don't need a number 9. Already then everyone could see that we need a number 9. Last season, penny dropped already, at least halfway for most people, if not fully for most people. Other half the people, that we actually need a number 9 because we cannot finish our dinner with creating gazillion chances. So that is the big issue for me, genuinely. Why we won't sign a number 9. Jesus needs to stay in Arsenal. Exactly! And try to buy Gyökeres for striker. Big up my guy, girl. Sorry, girl. Big up the girl, Teresa from Sierra Leone. Big up. Big up. That's what I'm thinking. Why Mikel Arteta is not using Gabriel Jesus at wing? Why? Why is he not using him as a backup for Saka or even start Jesus to give Saka a rest? And do what Pep did basically. Put him out wide because he cannot finish and put someone who can finish in the middle properly. Like, why he can't do that? And then focus on signing, like you said, Gyökeres, for example. Sign, who else is available? Tony. I would say Dovbyk from Girona. Who else is there? Lautaro Martinez I don't want. Osimhen now has said he wants to stay at Napoli. He has a change of heart in a way. According to Gazzetta dello Sport, so that looks like he's gonna stay. There's a big chance because PSG's interests have cooled down, so Arsenal, I rather not go for him. But yeah, there are about 3-4 strikers Arsenal could sign that could actually slot in that number 9 spot for us very nicely. Because the way we play, we actually don't need world-class striker. We don't need the best of the best like prime Benzema, prime CR7, prime Ronaldo or someone like that. We need a player who is not world class but getting there, or he's close to that, who can actually do something. Because let's be real, we are not signing, let's just say, someone insane. We don't need another Haaland up top. We just need someone like Tony, who can hold up the ball, who has good finishing, and who knows how to find the back of the net. That's all we need. Because with the chances we create, there's no doubt in my mind that Arsenal will actually score more goals than you can imagine. We already broke the records. That's like winning a trophy for Top Gunners, genuinely. For most goals, most points, and all that stuff, basically. And now we have a chance to build on that by signing a proper number 9 to even extend and improve on that. But by the looks of things, Arsenal think, nah, we good. We broke the records, we're gonna break them again, we don't need them. And it was like that. And it was already, when was it? I think it was in January or February, something like that. There was a point when there was an interview with Mikel Arteta, and he said, well, we don't have a striker, so we have to spread the goals around. I think it was at the end of the first time we finished second behind Man City. So why didn't you sign him last summer? And now 2 years have passed and you still haven't signed the number 9. Season starts in less than a month. And there are 0 links to strikers. This is very worrying for me. This is genuinely a very worrying thing. Because Jesus' output as a winger for Man City was his best output he has had in his career, if you ask me. Because if you look at it, in Premier League, in 212 games, he has 73 goals, 42 assists. The only season he scored 14 goals and got 8 assists, so 22 points. He got to 13 in another season. Was the time when he predominantly played left wing center forward most of the time. That's the thing. He plays wing center forward. That's the thing. At wing he gets more out of the production because he rotates a lot. That's what I'm trying to say. He can open up, he can take on defender. He likes to take on defenders in that number 9 spot. But defenders against Arsenal park the bus because they know we're gonna hold possession and they're gonna get none of it and they will have to counter-attack. So they jam-pack the box, edge of the box, and Jesus has no room to operate. He gets some good trickery here or there off, it looks brilliant, but in that instance, he overhauls the ball and forgets to pass, or he whiffs it into row Z or straight at the keeper with no power whatsoever most of the time. So that is the big thing. Generally, put him out at wing, let him take on the man, and put a proper finisher in the box to who he can pass to. And I generally believe Arsenal will score even more goals than they did last season. And Arsenal, I don't want to say it because I might jinx it. Genuinely. Because let's be real, Gabriel Jesus, can you see it? You kind of can't. And this is, again, hell annoying, but I'm going to do it this way. Live on stream so you can see this. Gabriel Jesus at Arsenal, right? As you can see, Gabriel Jesus is on £265,000 a week. That's gross, by the way. That's not net, that's gross. Include taxes and all that crap, it's about what? 180, something like that, 190 if I'm not mistaken. And for that kind of a player to be on 200 grand a week, you need to put back in the net consistently. And unfortunately, he does not fit the bar. Because let's be real, if we sign Ivan Toney, right? What are we gonna put him on? 150, 130 grand a week? 100% better investment. Genuinely. Because there is a big chance Jesus is gonna get injured again this season, and we will have to hang our heads in shame once again because Arsenal haven't done the job properly. And that is the biggest thing what's pissing me off about Arsenal in the transfer window, because if it makes sense, Arsenal won't do it. Technically, we need to sign 2 midfielders, a number 9, and if you want, a winger. 4 players. Okay, you push out Jesus to wide, you can sign 2 midfielders and a number 9. Let's just say 3 players. Do you think for such a big club like Arsenal to not to do it? Do you think we don't have the money, or do you think we are just not good enough? Or when Edu comes knocking to someone's door, everyone opens the door, sees Edu, says haha, closes the door and walks away and never opens it again. Leaves them on double blue ticks on red on WhatsApp or something. Because it feels that way. Because we are doing nothing in that instance. Exactly. Genuinely, that's the thing. If it makes sense, Arsenal will not do it. We need a striker. We won't sign a striker. As Arteta said in the first season, 2 seasons ago, we spread goals around. When Martinelli had season of his life, Saka had incredible season, Odegaard had a massive season, Jesus had that 11 goal, 8 assist season. We spread the goals around. We don't need a proper number 9. Now last season, when it comes to everything, to the December break, when we went 1-7, couldn't finish our dinner. Oh, but we don't have a striker to score goals. Oh, but we need to sign a striker. So what? Go and sign him then. Why do we need to sign 65 goalkeepers every summer? Why do we need to sign 65 defenders every summer and not address the main issues at hand? The fact that we don't have midfield good enough. We don't have a proper number 6 anymore. We don't have another number 8, and we don't have wingers. We don't have proper backup for Saka, and we don't have a proper number 9. You could say we need 4 players, but if you push Jesus out to wing, if you don't want to sell him because for whatever reason, because if Saudi came in, basically this whole chat basically started because there is interest from Al Ali into Gabriel Jesus. Basically, all this chat for the last, 10 minutes, 15 minutes? Genuinely, yeah, 10 minutes. If Saudi come in with an offer in about 60 million, let's just say 50 to 60 million, Jesus' value has risen to 65 million euros. That's about 60 million pounds, right? Saudi come in with a, let's just say 55 to 60 million offer. Are you selling him and then investing it in a proper number 9, or are you keeping him? What are you doing here? The fact is, for me, it's a no-brainer. You sell him and get a proper number 9. The issue with Arsenal is they probably got, if they agree to this deal, they're gonna sell him, they're gonna keep the Nketiah, and then invest into defender or something like that. Genuinely. Or sign another goalkeeper, because Arteta apparently has a goalkeeper fetish or something. Because the biggest issue for me is, if we sell Jesus in this instance, I don't trust Edu and Arteta to go and sign proper number 9. Of course, on the other hand, to playing devil's advocate here, selling Jesus and maybe Nketiah actually leaving to Marseille, please God, it actually might force Edu's and Arteta's hand to sign a proper striker. But then again, it comes with a liability if they can identify a proper striker. Will they go for Gyökeres, or will they go for, I don't know, someone else? Because apparently Arteta doesn't like Ivan Toney, because in the interview he didn't like how he acted, or something like that. Didn't like the vibes he gave out. Didn't like the ego, basically what that means. Because what Toney apparently said, he wants to play for Arsenal, he wants to score goals, he wants to win, he wants to be part of the team. What else do you need? Oh, but he has some sort of an ego, right? Right? And here's the flaw. Arteta doesn't want egos. We used to have egos in our team. We had Guendouzi, we had Lacazette, we had Aubameyang, we had Ozil. We all saw how all those went. They are singing like canaries in other leagues, making the big bags, and a shocking turn of events, winning trophies. Because as soon as someone leaves Arsenal, they instantly win trophies. Arsenal allegedly get better, but win nothing. And that is every single bloody season. Arteta doesn't want players with egos who actually have who can stand on their two own feet, basically. He wants yes men, and that's basically what Arteta has at the moment in the team. And there is the biggest issue with that as well. If at some point, let's just say Arteta doesn't win anything, because it most likely will happen again this season, by looks of things, based on how we move this transfer window, Kroenke might turn around and sack him. And that again might set off a domino effect in this instance. Because there's a big chance that these players are so attached to Mikel Arteta that they don't want to play under other managers, and they actually might think, other manager will come in, he might not like me, he may rebuild the squad, okay, I might as well leave, hand in the transfer request, and see ya. Because we are not far from that. Because let's be real, 2 seasons without winning anything, Saka might turn around and say, hey, I'm not cut out for this. I want to win a legacy. I need a legacy to leave behind. I don't want to be another Harry Kane who stays 60 years at one club and moves to and wins nothing. Saliba already is being sniffed around, pause, no Diddy, by Real Madrid. Gabriel as well will be. Ben White will be. Odegaard will be. Martinelli will be. Our best players will leave if we don't start winning. Because there's so much players can take not winning. Because winning breeds success, and winning breeds more winning. And so far Arsenal have done none of that. And none of these players have actually properly tasted winning. Winning league games is cool, but the real winning is winning trophies. And unfortunately, I don't believe Arteta is cut out for it. Obviously, if he does it, good, I will give him his praises, but so far he looks like he's Arsenal's Brendan Rodgers. He gets them to a certain point, but when it matters the most, he shits the bed, bricks it, and loses it. That's about it. Because we got laughed out of Baku. Yes, it wasn't Arteta, but it was Emery. Then Arteta got laughed out of Europa League semi-finals by Emery. Then Emery comes to Premier League and still laughs at Mikel Arteta by stealing the best goalkeeper we actually have had in Arteta's tenure, and then schooling us pretty much every single league game we play against them. It generally shows that Arteta, on some level, managerial-wise, just doesn't cut it. Because he wins the cups every single season. He's 1 in 18 in his tenure at Arsenal for the potential chances of winning something. He has had 18 trophies available to win in his 4.5 years at Arsenal, and he has won 1. And the only one he won was with a team he inherited from Unai Emery and Arsene Wenger. It wasn't a team he built himself, because since he has built his own team, he has won legit nothing, spent 700 million, and has nothing genuinely to show for it at the end of the day. But hey ho, we digress, we move on. I'm getting kinda pissed off about this, so I'm gonna move on. Genuinely gonna move on, because our Arsenal are very big love-hate relationship that pisses me off on very high extent on certain occasions, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, Jesus to Ali might be a thing if a bid comes in, depends how big and what will Arteta do. Because if, let's just say, 60 million bid comes in and Arsenal turn it down, it's pretty much safe to say they are not serious about winning the league. I'm telling you that now. Instantly telling you that now, and there will be a massive rant stream / video out. Instantly telling you that now. We talked about Gehi, we don't need Gehi. Here we go, Marseille. Marseille working on a loan deal for Edu Nketiah that includes obligation to buy. Another loan, woohoo! Happy days, shove it. Opening proposal submitted last week fell short of Arsenal's valuation, but kickstarted negotiations between the clubs. Nketiah has traveled with Arsenal to the USA, will travel with Arsenal to the USA on Sunday. Now, obviously, Marseille just signed Mason Greenwood, and they sold Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to Saudi. And apparently, the Zerbi is a big fan of Edu Nketiah and wants to sign him. First things first, if you're a big fan of Edu Nketiah, take him and run away, Arsenal. Take the money. If they offer you 25 million, 30 million, 22.5 million, take it and run. First things first, let's get that out of the way. Pure profit, you get some money, you're good, sign a proper striker. Although Arsenal won't do that most likely. But yeah, let's see what the next proposal will be. But apparently the Zerbi is a big admirer. What's its face? Marseille president also has sanctioned the move. He actually also wants Nketiah apparently at Marseille, which still baffles me to this day when I read it about 5-6 days ago. But it is what it is. If someone wants Edu Nketiah, please sell him. Genuinely, please sell Edu Nketiah. I don't want to see Sherman Klomp at striker anymore. Especially after that laughable performance he had against Bayern Munich. Genuinely, we are losing to Bayern Munich, we need a goal, and who we turn to save the day? Eddie Murphy, the Beverly Hills Cop, Sherman Klomp of strikers. How embarrassing is that? Genuinely, how embarrassing is that? Get him out of the club, sell him as soon as possible, agree the fee, I will fly to even LA and pay for the ticket to Marseille myself. Genuinely, get him out of the club. Anyways, swiftly moving on. A bit more bad news for Arsenal. Obviously, as we all know, Arsenal are interested in Gabriel Jesus. The thing about this is Arsenal Tottenham linked with playmaker Gabriel Jesus is now wanted by Manchester City amidst this uncertainty over Kevin De Bruyne's future. Obviously, today reports started to come out that there is a big possibility that Kevin De Bruyne might move to Saudi. Obviously, Fabrizio Romano came out and shut these rumors down to a certain extent, and it has gone down a bit quiet. But KDB to Kevin De Bruyne basically to Saudi have been talked about throughout this whole summer. And obviously, Pep Guardiola is looking for proper replacements. There obviously have been reports with Dani Olmo, 60 million release clauses, and the other player, also 60 million, is Gabriel Jesus, which, yeah, it's great for City, it's bad for Arsenal, because for me, I would take Eze at Arsenal in a heartbeat. Gabriel Eze himself, before the transfer window opened, said that he wants to return at Arsenal one day and play for the club. Like, how much more encouragement from a player do you need to go and sign him? Because Ivan Toney said he wants to play for Arsenal, Arteta decided he doesn't like the attitude. Now, Eberechieze has said he would like to return to Arsenal and play for Arsenal. What Arsenal do? Oh no, we're gonna sign Calafiori, we might look at Margehi, we might sign Win the Dog's sister-in-law or something like that, but no, we're not gonna sign Eberechieze. So, hey ho, here we are. Man City might be signing Eberechieze at some point this transfer window, but let's see what's gonna happen with that. About Mikel Merino, nothing new, to be honest. It's the same old, just like yesterday. According to reports in Spain, Arsenal are going to focus all of their efforts on signing Real Sociedad's midfielder Mikel Merino after Ricardo Calafiori joins. Now, that deal should be done by, well, basically they said this week. I hope it will get done by Wednesday. I don't want to wait till Sunday again. Mateo Moreto adds that Atletico Club, obviously Atletico Madrid, are most insistent in trying to sign Merino. Yes, they need to replace their midfield. They have Coyg, and that's pretty much it, to be honest. Obviously, they have the youngster Vallejo and stuff like that, but Saul went to Sevilla for free. They're losing some players and they need some replacements. And to be honest, Merino there would actually work like a charm. So what Arsenal will do remains to be seen. Another big thing for me is the fact that, as I said, signing Mikel Merino per se doesn't improve Arsenal's starting 11 as much as it breaches the gap between our bench and starting 11. Because, as I said, the drop-off was massive the last seasons. Because the bench half of it needs to be sold. Because imagine the drop-off from Thomas Partey to Mohamed El Neni, for example. Bukayo Saka to Reece Nelson and stuff like that goes on and on and on. It's just embarrassing. Ben White basically to Cedric Soares. Just embarrassing drop-off. Let's be real. Arsenal need to somehow bridge the gap for the bench as well. And Arsenal might be moving that way, because there have been numerous reports during this transfer window that Arsenal actually might not go for high-profile players, but trying to sign experienced players, that actually would come in, could bridge the gap between the bench and the starting 11, and improve the whole team as a whole. So that is the big thing Arsenal are trying apparently to do this summer. So obviously, apparently signing Calafiori is one of those odd left-sided steps that actually made no sense, but there was an opportunity, so they took it in a way. But it is what it is at the end of the day. And still, my dad, no links with proper number 9. Still no links with a striker. Still none of that happening. Some news on the Jesus thing. Tottenham Hotspur wants 60 million for Richarlison after Saudi Pro League side Al Ahly indicated an interest in signing the player. Now, if we are smart, we will ask the same amount at least. But given how Arsenal sell players, they will say, give me, I don't know, 40 million tickets to Burj Khalifa and give me some more meat from South Bay's restaurant or something like that. Arsenal probably will gonna negotiate that kind of a deal. But anyways, it is what it is. They want 60. I don't see any reason why Arsenal cannot get 60 for Gabriel Jesus. Genuinely don't see one reason whatsoever. If his transfer value since joining Arsenal has risen by 20 million and is it nearly at 60 million pounds with 3 years left on his contract being on 200 grand a week, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't ask for 60 or 65 million for him. And if they paid that, I happily would sell and go sign a proper number 9. No questions asked, genuinely. Because I don't want to go into another season with 29 Donkey Havertz being our number 1, number 9. Because that again breeds desperation and breeds no trophies once again. And I'm sick of tired Arsenal not winning anything. It's been 21 years since we won the league. Well, will be by the time. 21 years since we won the league. I haven't seen Arsenal win the league for 21 freaking years. I need to see this happen. But it looks like Arsenal at the moment are very complacent. Kroenke's got their top 4 back again, just like in Wenger days. And Mikel Arteta, as much as he says he wants to win it, it doesn't look like he wants to win it. Because actions speak louder than bloody words. And if your actions actually spoke, you would have signed a number 9, you would have signed 2 midfielders, and you would have gotten the job done. Not this Calafiori, cauliflower soup type of bullshit and other stuff. Genuinely, link with 55 goalkeepers, 65 defenders, 5 midfielders, and no strikers. Because Mikel Arteta hasn't signed a striker at Arsenal. Yes, you can say Jesus is a number 9. But if you actually deep it, he's in a proper number 9. If you want to talk in proper number 9s like Aubameyang, Lacazette and all that stuff, Mikel Arteta hasn't signed a number 9 actually. He hasn't replaced Aubameyang yet. And I'm really, really skeptical about him doing that this summer as well. Only thing that might force the hand of Mikel Arteta actually signing a number 9 is the fact that we actually sell Jesus and Nketiah buggers off to Marseille. Only way. Only bloody way. Because we cannot go into season being with cauliflower as our number 9. Genuinely. Interesting thing to ask. How is it on the deal of Calafiori? Here we are, just as you asked. Basically, terms have been agreed upon, price have been agreed upon. Only thing that's more or less holding up the deal is that Basel and Bologna need to negotiate how Bologna will pay Basel the 50% sell-on clause, the structure and everything. After that is done, everything is set in motion. Calafiori will do the medicals and should sign, according to Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal contract this week. Now, I don't know whether he's gonna join USA Tour or not. I would assume he actually might not at the end of the day, or he might. It depends what Arteta decides. But yeah, it's confirmed as well that Calafiori has not been named in Bologna's traveling squad for their preseason training camp in South Tyrol in the end northeast of Italy, which means it's about to happen. Calafiori, cauliflower, is about to be Arsenal player very, very soon. If he is excluded from the training, from the preseason training camp, pretty much means that the deal is 99% done most likely, and it's gonna happen during the week. He's gonna fly to England, do the medicals, sign the contract, and I would assume join Arsenal in the preseason tour in the USA. Because I actually we play on Wednesday against Bournemouth, right? So then we play on Saturday, I think. To be honest, he actually could join. Depends when he signs, basically. If Calafiori signs, basically by Wednesday, he can fly to USA and be there for about 4 or 5 days. If he doesn't sign by the end of the week, he most likely is gonna stay and join us for the Emirates Cup when we're gonna play Bayer Leverkusen and Lyon. Now, any Arsenal targets for a striker? No. Genuinely, no bloody strikers have been linked. Only things that have been linked is that Marseille are working on a loan deal for the Nketiah that includes an obligation to buy. Marseille made an opening offer for the player last week to kickstart negotiations, but they are yet to find agreement for Arsenal. Basically, Edu Nketiah might be moving out with a loan with obligation to buy, and as we already talked about this, is it still here? Yes, it is still here. Al Ahly, one of the biggest Saudi teams, are interested to signing a striker, and to their list they have added Gabriel Jesus as one of potential targets. So basically, Arsenal have been linked with no strikers coming in recent days, but they have been linked with both strikers going out. Edu Nketiah I don't count actually. We are being linked with only striker going out, who is not actually a striker, but we're gonna let that slide. So basically Arsenal are doing things backwards. They're gonna sell every single striker and go in the season playing Win the Dog as number 9 most likely. Hey ho, so here we are. Anything else? Nothing in that regard. Let's see what it says on the news front in general here. Anything new to talk about in the news department for Arsenal? Mikel Merino transfer. Arsenal hold crucial advantage over Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. Don't care about these PR headlines. Club weighing up potential bid for 265,000 Arsenal as his good friend is also a target. This has to be Gabriel Jesus. This has to be Gabriel Jesus, correct? Oh, here we go. Gunners set to make room for incoming stars. So, Fabrizio Romano last week suggests Arsenal have reached an agreement for... Yeah. Here it is. With Gunners clearly not afraid to let players leave this summer, it appears that the club is actively assessing a move for another Arsenal attacker. Here it is. Arsenal joining the Polish defender. Gunners list of stars deemed surplus to requirements is Edu Nketiah. The striker has recently been linked with West Ham, with also blah blah blah. He might be sold to... It's again. Here it is. Edu Nketiah has been recently linked with a move to West Ham and Marseille and would likely be sold to fund. Would likely. Genuinely means I have no idea what is going on. If Arsenal is selling Nketiah, we have no clue where we're gonna spend the money. That's what it means. Telling you that right now. And of course, Al Ahly are on a shopping spree with Gabriel Jesus as one of the potential targets. So it will be very interesting to see what's gonna happen with that. Arsenal's Calafiori compared to Manchester Euro. How to say this to not offend anyone? Probably there isn't a way to say this to not offend anyone, right? Well, basically, every fan base has this part of the fan base who are idiots. Let's just say it like that. Basically, one Arsenal's fan base are saying Arsenal got the deal of the century, signing Calafiori. He's the Maldini region, the next best thing since sliced bread and everything. Only 40 million, only 65 grand a week. Arsenal are clear. Then you have Manchester United side. Oh, we beat Real Madrid. Arsenal, to be honest, also kind of beat Real Madrid for Calafiori, although they didn't put a bid in. But from United side, oh, Arsenal signed Calafiori. We actually signed Mbappe of defenders that says he was called 180 grand a week for about what, 50, 60 million, whatever they played for Euro. Basically, it's a pissing contest. Who can piss higher, basically. Just stupidity from fans. One team has signed a player to strengthen their defense in a position that is actually defensively their weakest point in Arsenal. And as not a main guy, as a rotational most likely guy at the moment at least. Other team is trying to rebuild their team. They signed a young player who has lots of potential. Yes, he has played only one proper season, but he has apparently a lot of potential. I'm gonna admit I haven't seen him play, but he has allegedly lots of potential and could be one of the future big defenders. So one team is rebuilding while Arsenal are trying to strengthen to go for the league, basically. That's what's going on. And the both fan bases, the idiot parts of the fan bases, are using those two defenders as measuring sticks to see who can piss higher, basically. And that's about it. Both defenders, both have different roles, both will have different tasks and everything, and it's mad. Basically, Calafiori, nobody knows what's gonna happen with Calafiori because nobody has ever seen him play, let's be real, unless you watch Serie A. Second of all, no defender in Serie A history has gone straight from Serie A to Premier League and has become a world beater. Never has happened, and if this happens, it's 1 in a million chance, basically. If it happens, everyone's happy, it looks brilliant. If it doesn't, another wasted money. Either or. Euro comes to Manchester United to help them rebuild the team. Let's see what happens, because United recently have been known for destroying young talents. Number one targets for me, Depay and Di Maria, so we're gonna see what happens with that. You have to give him time. Let's see what Ten Hag does with him. That's about it, basically. Genuinely, that's about it. Big up, Pepper. Big up, Pepper. Let's see if there's anything else, and I'm gonna switch it off. I've been already live for 51 minutes, a bit longer than I intended, so I want to be live for 45. But I'm having much fun. I love chatting with you guys, so it's all fun and stuff. Tottenham chief publicly hails Arsenal after 100 million. Yeah, whatever. Man City considering 68 move hijack Premier League star from Spurs. That's Edu Arteta, from what I've read and seen. Patrick Vieira has told Arsenal why they must beat Man City to 68 million transfer. Surely that is Edu Arteta because Patrick Vieira is speaking on it. Yep, it's Edu Arteta. Now, mind you, Arsenal already bought a player based on Vincent Kompany's and Thierry Henry's, whoever was that suggestion, Sambi Lokonga, the next Yaya Toure. That went well. However, Eze is a whole different story. He wants to play for Arsenal, and he's a baller and would improve Arsenal massively. Will Arsenal sign him? No. Because as always, if it makes sense, Arsenal won't do it. They won't sign a striker, they won't sign a backup for actually Martin Odegaard because we need one, but Arsenal won't do it. So it is what it is at the end of the day. We will have to sit patiently and wait what's gonna happen after Calafiori deal. Because by the looks of things, Arsenal are not gonna try and sign player until Calafiori has put pen to the paper and officially has become Arsenal's player. And by the way, by the time that happens, I expect Nketiah to be in Marseille already. I'm watching you, Edu. I'm gonna come for you. If you don't sell him actually in proper amount of time. But yeah, let me know what you think. Gabriel Jesus, 60 to 65 million. Saudi come in with, let's just say 55 to 65 million. Saudi come in for a bid for Gabriel Jesus. You selling and reinvesting in a Gyökeres or Ivan Toney or someone else, a proper number 9, or you are doing what? Because I would. The thing is, it's Arsenal, and as we all know, as I always say, if it makes sense, Arsenal won't do it, and there is no guarantee that if Arsenal sell, let's just say Jesus, for 60 million, no chance there's no guarantee they're gonna invest in another number 9, although they should. They should do it right now, to be honest. And on top of that, I don't see Arsenal saying Jesus, mostly because Jesus is like a grandchild to Arteta, so I don't see him going. It's like his kid personal one. So it is what it is at the end of the day. Hope you had a blast today. Thank you so much for joining here. Like, comment if you're watching this as a podcast. Subscribe, hit that bell. See you all tomorrow. You have been fantastic. Have a great